Welcome back to the podcast. We are going to dive into your energy. And a little squirrel just joined us. Oh my gosh, so cute. Squirrel means fun. This is not ironic. So, squirrel is one of my symbols for fun. And actually, I've never seen a squirrel yet from my new office. So, this is really exciting. And I was just right before I hopped on to do this, I emailed Michelle because she is doing some work for me and for the Magic Accelerator, and we're kind of revamping the welcome, not the like the sales page. I don't really like to call it a sales page, but that's what it is. And at the end, she goes, "P.S. This is fun," and I was like, "Oh," I go, "That's funny," because on the podcast, I'll often say and have fun along the way. Okay, it's so funny that that message just came through for us because this last week and a half, things were just a little bit punchy, a little bit spicy. I noticed it in myself way more so than usual. I noticed it with loved ones, and then I saw in clients, and that is the trifecta here. I was like, wait a minute, something's in the air. So if you felt as though you were feeling almost like you just couldn't bite your tongue, or maybe you were kind of like even lashing out at times or feeling very expressive, there's a reason for the season. And when we feel this way, we always want to go, well, you can do whatever you want. But if you're here, you're probably curious why the energies are doing this. We always want to realize that while it might feel a little bit out of character or uncomfortable, Spirit brings forth the astrology, the universe brings forth these energies for our favor to kind of help us. And what I have been seeing in the ethers for the energy that is culminating and landing here on Earth is I have been seeing a lot of what's the word I want to use here? I want to see what's coming through. There's a softness, there's a gentleness, there is a experience. If you and that's what's being encouraged. Now, to get to that place, because we're here having a human experience, we need to know who we are. We need to know what our boundaries are. And not from the place from which we were raised, but from the place of as I am healed and healing, and this is who I choose to be. We now want to have this soft experience from that place. And it means we need to really understand our character. We need to understand very clearly the forces around us. Because the fact of the matter is, we ain't living in La La Land, and we're not going to be living in La La Land as long as you and I are on this earth in 2026 and beyond having this experience, right? And this is one of the things that I have been talking to my own guides about lately is not lately, I guess for a while, but it's come up more lately. But I'm finally at an age where I'm very comfortable not people pleasing. I still do it, but just not ever like being misunderstood or maybe not being liked for something or having my personal beliefs and being very comfortable with them. Now, keeping in mind that our beliefs can evolve and change, of course, I'm open to that. But just this space, and what does that mean for me as I identify as a practitioner, as a spiritual practitioner? It doesn't leave out all the other human elements. So it's been just a very interesting dance. And it's not just me who's experiencing this. I'd be curious. I'm sure you are in your own way. And I think a lot of people are because we've really like mentally surpassed this ideology around spiritualism. And I see so many people beautifully landing it in their day to day, which is what we talk about here. And as we do that, it means we're not going to be God or Jesus or the divine or Buddha or whatever. We're actually all of those things. And as we continue to move throughout our experience, um, there's no place for us not to fully be ourselves. Grammatically, that wasn't probably the best way to explain it. It means that we get to express ourselves whether we're frustrated or whether we're not. We can have the softness and also have a bite to us that says, hey, you know what? Like these are my beliefs, this is my territory, this is my path, these are my people, or this is my experience. So really kind of coming into our own around having this element to ourselves from a more evolved place. So, or did we think being so evolved meant everything was just water off a duck's back, water through our bones, and we just, we're so spiritually advanced, we just, nothing bothers us. It's just, it all has meaning and no meaning at all. No, 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 no. Okay. So now that we're here and the energies have been a little bit spicy, helping us remember our voices and our beliefs, what is this leading us towards? If it's also bringing in a lot of soft, or if we are also experiencing a lot of softness. And it's really interesting because part of what I'm seeing energetically right now, so we're in June, we've got July. Um, July, I hate to say this, it looks a little bit tough. It looks a little bit tough towards the middle, towards the end, not in a bad way. It actually looks a little bit like a diamond in the rough, if you will. And we start to get some reprieve and some openness in August. So, what might this look like for you? If an old pattern starts coming up, which we hear all the time, we want to take a look at it from the perspective of what is this leading me towards now? How am I evolving my life in a more smooth sailing way, in a more comfortable, happy way, even more so than maybe your life already is right now? And how do I continue down this path? And what else has kind of been looming in my mind that I haven't been paying attention to? I really get this sense that we're going to be still. I think a lot of people have been really, really evaluating how they spend their time, how they engage in relationships. And it's funny, I feel like it kind of picks up a bit in this season that we're in right now. And we have the support for the clarity, we have the support for the aligned action, and we have the support for the peace we're going to feel. Because if in the past we were processing relationships and processing, emotions and personal development, we were kind of trying to find our path with it. And now we're very much in this sense of it just now becomes so much more clear. We don't, this isn't a bypassing because there's always going to be things to work through. It's more like because we've done the work, it feels like the next level of work, you guys. That's what it actually feels like. And I haven't been here before, at least that, I mean, not in, my current experience in memory, but um, it's just very, very interesting. It's very interesting how it feels honestly like it's pushing us forward. So the discomfort is meant to bring up things you've been wanting to say. A lot of times we just kind of let things go and that's fine. And I feel like the letting things go isn't gonna be cool in the spiritual world anymore. It's just gonna be like, let's get it out. Let's get it out. I've been in a couple of meetings lately where I've, been catching up with people I used to work with. And as we're chatting, I'll say like a truth or someone says a truth. And have you ever noticed how when somebody does that, it just kind of shifts the conversation and everybody kind of lands differently? I'm seeing a lot of that in a lot of different spaces. And that to me is really exciting. So look for that element of, we can call it authenticity. It's like, what's the truth here? Like, what is the actual truth? What am I actually feeling? And when you're operating from a place of your light and your love and your curiosity and your fun and your tools for healing and support, that's going to help guide the other people into an even better space. Okay, there's that. The other piece is it feels as though the focus of health from a collective level is really going to evolve. And it feels like it's happening. They're not letting me say at a rapid pace, but the energy to me looks rapid. So why is the spirit not wanting to say rapid pace? Oh, duh. Because it's going to take a long time to unravel and rewrite. It won't happen as rapidly as we want. It might take a decade or more and all that. So anyway, but just continuing to think about, when we make choices that affect our body, One of the things I like to do is I like to talk to my body now and talk to it about, well, what's going on? Or, well, look at that decision I just made. Or, how are you doing? Or, I really focus on healing. I love, love, love healing just for the sake of doing it for fun once in a while. I mean, putting your hands on anywhere in your body that feels good and um, going to your light and saying, I set the intention for healing my body, what's needed right now. So that part too comes in line with the focus on health because I think a lot of us, it's not just Western medicine or Eastern medicine, it's a holistic blend of what is it that I really need? What is it that I desire to do and live and experience? And that's what the health is that I'm going to create for myself. But these things take time. Okay, the final piece I wanted to add, I know this sounds like a current energy forecast. The reason that it's not is because it blends. It blends over months, it blends over time, it blends over macro lessons, it blends over micro lessons. The other final piece that I'm seeing sparks of is it's a little bit of giddiness in people. And this giddiness, it's like it looks like bubbles to me when I see it in people or in myself. And part of what's happening is if, everybody goes through different phases of being unconscious, they stay unconscious, or maybe they're conscious pretty early on, they're conscious the rest of their lives, or it switches around. You get the idea. But there's this energy coming through, and you can access it extra if you want to. But just go to your inner light and be like, what is this giddy energy? I want to feel more of this giddiness. And what it is, how we may meditate or pray so that we feel a sense of calm and peace. And that is something that I love and resonates with me in my day to day. There's also this sense of if we've really been pushing ourselves energetically, or we've been pushing ourselves at a human level and, moving fast or getting things done quickly or being really efficient or maybe we've felt like a sloth for far too long. This energy of giddiness is giving us a more active presence without burning out, without overdoing it, without stressing ourselves out. I know a lot of people are focused on like slow motion living, right? Good living, present living, yummy living. And then there's things that just have to get done in this world. And it seems kind of like we're either all the way on or all the way off. And what I'm finding is there is this energy bubbling up, and I kind of want to say it's a bit newer. You know what it feels like? It feels like one of these energies that's been slowly dripping in to our energetic ecosystem, and more people are going to start feeling it, accessing it, noticing it, and it's going to start. Why am I drawing a blank on the word? Like, I can't think of the right word. Not replicating itself, but whatever. It's going to continue to grow. And the more we experience it, the more we nourish it. So noticing how if you feel like you've been kind of on the cusp of one or the other, going a little too fast, burnt out, exhausted in some ways, or maybe you're like, whew, I'm a little too relaxed too. I'm not really, I want to have creativity and more spark and joy in my life. Look for this energy. It's out there, it's within you. Go to your inner light and ask for it. I'm calling it giddy. I would be curious what you maybe feel like it is. So you can go ahead and drop a comment on Spotify. You can also drop a note in the questionnaire that's in the podcast notes. And I will be doing another podcast that answers more of those questions, but look for this energy to really just help you like, ooh, it's that calm presence, but with just a bit of energy. Yeah, giddy. I feel like giddy is fleeting, but the energy right now doesn't feel like it's fully landed. So maybe that's why that term works really well. Okay. All that being said, we're going to finish off this episode with a gentle energy activation for your nails. Okay. Why the nails? A lot of reasons. One of them is going to be to scratch that energetic itch of, oof, what's going to feel really good right now? What is going to, you know, move me right now? What's going to help me feel like, oh, yeah, this energy is bubbling up and I feel a bit giddy. All right, our nails, our nails. So, taking a moment to breathe into your inner light, please run loving energy for me or divine balancing energy for me. And I set the intention that I receive this divine healing light to all of the nails on my body. Just kind of notice what you feel. Do you feel it more in certain nails or less? Isn't that fun? Surprise. Maybe you feel it somewhere else, and that's perfectly all right too. And taking a beat, now maybe this energy feels like it's enough. Maybe you feel as though there could be more. If you feel like you want more, ask for more. If you feel like it's perfectly enough, that's great. And for the nails, help me, please, with the curiosity. Help me feel this more giddy energy. Nails are fun because nails are like tickling, scratching an itch, poking at things, pointing at things, scraping the label off of your food. There's so many things we use it for. Okay. Nails are kind of an interesting analogy now that I'm simmering with this for a minute. You think about all the things your nails do, and it's like, ooh, ooh, okay. So, as that energy settles and you feel into it, give yourself a big thank you with a whole lot of grace because you just did incredible energy work for yourself. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts on what it is you're picking up on in the energy field as it relates to the topics today. And continue to be you and make sure that as you experience your light, you feel comfortable, confident sharing it. Until next time, it is such an honor to do this work alongside you. It has been so great to connect here. If this episode resonated with you, please be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who you want to have more of these chats with. And as you move throughout your day, remember, your energy is your superpower. As you pay attention to it and trust it, you can watch your entire life begin to transform.